G'day legends, I don't know how this is going to go. This isn't the sort of video that you should be making on YouTube. But what I'm going to be doing is actually praising The Ultimate Fighter. That's right, this season of The Ultimate Fighter, TUF 33, has actually been really enjoyable. So if you have not seen The Ultimate Fighter every single episode yet, as the episodes are still coming out, I think we're up to episode 6. If you haven't caught up yet, maybe don't watch this video because there are going to be spoilers in it. And once you do watch them all, come and catch up again as we do a little, I don't know if we're towards the end of the season. It feels like we're towards the end of the season. A little end of season review. Now, again, I start off by saying I should not be making this video because by now I understand YouTube a little bit. I should be making rage content about just how terrible the new season of TUF is, about how nobody cares about this show anymore and just harping on about it and just laughing at it. And I've done that before. By the way, I have done that before because previous seasons of TUF have been truly terrible. But there is something very interesting going on here about this particular season, which has actually been really fun. So I'm going to take you through some of my highlight moments of this season, just react to them, talk about some of the standout moments, and maybe you'll feel like going and watching the new season of TUF. I don't know what's happened. I don't know if it's Chael Sonnen. I don't know if it's DC. Some of the fighters are quite good. They're actually clashing with each other. But there is just something about the old school formulaicness of TUF that's working here. However, I do have to say this with one little caveat. Because my way of watching TUF has changed. I have edited my TUF viewing experience. I will watch the first 10 minutes of the episode where we're setting up for this week's build and we're looking at their training, and then we're having some of the former UFC champions and former UFC TUF fighters come back to the house and give the team some coaching. And then we get to that part of every single TUF episode, where the fighter pulls out a photo. Why he has a photo, I don't know. Bring your phone. Why he has a photo of his daughter or his son or his dog with 2 broken legs, whatever it is, and he starts, "This is my family, I fight so hard for my family, I work so hard." We get the old Alexandre Pantoja treatment. I work so hard to be here, man. And I'm like, listen, it's not that I don't have a heart. I'm actually quite an empathetic man. I'll admit, I cried when Alexander Volkanovski got robbed by Islam Makhachev on their first fight, but that's neither here nor there, right? I can, I've got a soul, I've got emotions. I know you're fighting for your family, to be honest. I know that you're a poor Brazilian that grew up in a zinc roof, bruh, to steal a phrase from Leon Edwards. I get it. This is why I like the sport, because you're broke. And you don't have anything else in life. And you didn't want to be a plumber, Conor McGregor. So you thought you'd have a go at getting your head kicked in. And it's a hard, bloody life. And you guys go through the ringer. And not only is it hard being a fighter, but it's hard being on TUF. The absolute rejects of the UFC world. All the real prospects are on Contender Series. Or if they're in Asia, they're on road to the UFC. If you're on TUF in North America, Middle America, you are being scraped by the barrel of the UFC content machine. So I understand that your life is hard. But all your lives are hard. Every single one of your lives have been hard for every single episode of TUF ever since they started releasing it. And quite frankly, my life's hard. Everyone's life's bloody hard, mate. So I skip over that. I don't care. I don't care about it at all. And then when I skip over that, I get to the point where they're starting to ready up for the fight and get into the cage. And then, the editing leading up to the fight is that classic TUF editing where there's a bit of background music and we get some dynamic shots. It's not the same sweeping shot of the apex that we see as regular MMA enjoyers week in and week out. It's something a little bit different. And it builds. Once you cut out the slop through the center, which all you have to do is pick up your mouse and just skip ahead. Once you get rid of the slop in the center, they're nice, tight 25, 20 to 30 minute episodes with a little bit of drama, a little bit of interesting coaching, and then a great fight at the end. It's been really bloody enjoyable. So let's go through some of my standout moments from this season of TUF. Number 1 is the coaches, right? And obviously the runaway coaches, without a doubt. Uncle Chael, my Uncle Chael Sonnen, undefeated. Watching some of Chael Sonnen's outfits is just... This is how Chael Sonnen rocked up to work to train a bunch of 30-year-old amateur MMA fighters and how to get into the UFC. This is what Chael Sonnen thought he would wear. Why? Why? Why has he got cowboy boots on? I don't know. And Chael stays like this for a couple of episodes. This is a dead serious Chael Sonnen drip check. I don't know what is going on here. Maybe he wants to have a bit of friction in case DC chooses to Vandalay Silver him and, start some shit. Chael Sonnen wants to be able to wrangle DC like a hog. Get over here, DC. Like, wrangle him up. Maybe that's why he's in his hog tying boots, in case he has to go into action again. But some of Chael Sonnen's outfits are just 10 out of... And then there's Chael Sonnen's coaching as well, which is just phenomenal. Touch him. Keep touching him. Touch him up. That's it. Touch him. Oh no! Like, Chael Sonnen's coaching is just phenomenal. But Chael does care about his fighters. He does care about his fighters. In fact, there's a moment, and again, we're going to get into spoilers here, so if you haven't seen it, just watch yesterday's live stream. It was quite good. We're going to get into spoilers here. There's a moment where one of Chael Sonnen's fighters doesn't make weight, or isn't going to make weight. And Chael Sonnen, being the ego man that he is, which I love, by the way, about Chael Sonnen, the fact that he's a big bravado ego man. I think it's hilarious. It's very American Top Gear-esque, sort of that kind of character. I love it. Chael Sonnen's like, I'm not accepting this fighter not making weight. And he goes, for every pound that you're overweight, we'll offer your opponent $1,000. And he calls it, let me get this up. This episode here. Now, I'm not sure how much of this I can show. Probably none, because it's still copywritten under the UFC, and they are just horrible. But this bloke here, right? He's not going to be able to make... Anders Binder isn't going to be able to make weight. And Chael Sonnen calls Jeff Carrigan... Who's Jeff Carter? There, Chael's on the blower to him. He's like, mate, we're not going to make weight. This is not going to work out. He goes, how about $1,000 for every pound he's not going to make it by? And he's missing weight by like 5 or 6 pounds. And the dude on the other end of the phone, this genius here, who's cutting weight with Michael Chiesa, who's got the best free ride in the UFC ever. Jeff Carrington, his name is, Jeff Carrington. He's like, you know what, Chael? Make it 2,500. Make it 2,500. And Chael Sonnen has this moment, this look on his face. There it is. There's the look on his face where Chael Sonnen is like, I can't get big dicked on ESPN. I'm Chael Sonnen. I'm Mr. Biggest arms in West Lynn, Oregon. Never lost a round. So Chael has this moment where he's like, you know what? I'm down. In for a penny, in for a pound. It's so fun to see. And then with all of the lead up for this particular fight, for the way that it goes down, I won't spoil it, even though we are talking spoil it. If you know, you know. The way the fight ends, just great. It's great stuff. Poor Chael Sonnen. Like, I don't know how much money the UFC is paying you to film yet another season of TUF, Chael, but he's... It's so good to see the way that it went down. Oh my God. Then we've got this amazing boxer, right? Emmanuel Rodriguez. His hands are incredible. And so then we get this amazing boxer, Emmanuel Rodriguez. We got Emmanuel, what's his name again? Emmanuel Rodriguez. Now, not only are his hands insane, he has got great boxing, great combinations. We're looking at like a boxer, like a Joshua Van. Earlier Tapiri is obviously too much praise, but you know what? Like a very, very good boxer. It's so fun to watch. And he is just in there beating the living piss out of this Indian bloke. Just beating the fuck out of him. And I'm so sorry to the Indian MMA fans out there. You know, we have had a bit of banter back and forth the Australian way. The Australians and Indians have their sports banter over cricket. But Indians in the UFC, they're doing all right over in One Championship and in kickboxing. But in the UFC, the Indians are just absolute body bags. The Indian men are just getting the absolute hell beaten out of them. And it continues this way. It continues this way on and again. He crumbles, he crumbles, he cries, he's in absolute tears, is the Indian man. And it just adds to yet again, India is yet to register a win in the male division. So you get to see phenomenal boxing mixed with just classic beating the piss out of an Indian opponent. God, I hope Pujatoma gets a win this weekend. Like, the nation of India needs it. Once again, Indian men, your country is 20% of the global population. Get a male win in the UFC once. Get one win in the UFC. Sorry, but it's every Every time it just turns into this. Oh, man. You'll beat us in cricket. It's okay. But, like, what's more important? Hitting a ball or hitting someone else in the head? Moving on. Some of the coaches that we're getting. Phenomenal coaching from none other than Raquel Pennington. I know I said this was going to be a positive video, but it's all these little things, these little funny moments mixed with some of the great fights that we've been getting that, you know, that makes such a good season. So it's not all going to be positive and glaze. But it's good to see them back. Like, we've seen TJ Dillashaw back in there. We saw Robert Whittaker on the last episode. You know, we've seen some of the greats. Like Raquel Pennington giving advice to these fighters about how to be a champion. Like, one of the worst champions we've ever had. But also Robert Whittaker, one of the greatest champions we've ever had. Robert Whittaker is one of the greatest champions we've ever had. He is one of the greatest champions we've ever had. Robert Whittaker is one of the greatest champions we've ever had. I wonder if we'll get Tony Ferguson on one of the later episodes. I mean, he had a Tom Aspinall belt. Oh, what's the word? He had a interim belt. Tony Ferguson had an interim belt. I wonder if we're going to see Tony Ferguson get into the TUF House on season 33. That's something to look forward to. That'd be good. And now, as well, one of the ones that I just had to bring up is, of course, all of DC. DC has just been girth maxing on this episode. Look at him! Look at DC. This is how phenomenal this season of TUF has been. There is actually news coming out that DC is going on a 44-day diet and training regime because of this image. Because this happened. Because this image got out there. It captured DC at such a perfect moment of him simply walking through a door that not even Rampage could expand the doorway in such a way to get DC through that. Look at the fucking gut on him. Just swinging around. It's so good, man. He's coaching this. He's telling this fighter. And DC is crashing out during this. So one of his fighters gets absolutely brutally chinned. And he was brutally chinned by backing up during the fight. And if you know DC's past, you know that backing up in a fight is the reason DC hasn't gone down as one of the greatest fighters of all time. John Jones kicked his bloody head off, mate, because DC was backing up. So now DC gets that meme of the World War I, World War II vet just looking into the darkness whenever he sees one of his fighters backing up. And he absolutely rages out. The fighter is barely wakened back to consciousness in the back room with the entire team. They're all like, oh yeah, you're alright, mate. I know, we've all got families. Yeah, how are you going to feed your daughter? The question every father asks himself, like, you know, everyone's problem. And DC just blobs his way in there, swinging around, sweating from the stress. Don't back up! You never back up! That's how I lost the title. Don't back up. It's 10 out of 10 television. Absolutely 10 out of 10 television. So you got DC, Chael, bantering off each other. You got the contestants missing weight. Yeah, some of them are Indian, right? You got great boxers. You got that like some awesome little fighters in there. They actually hate each other and are going at each other. It's all just firing on all cylinders. It is a classic old school season of TUF. And I don't know why, but in 2025, it's just working. I'm here for it. So we spent all this time criticizing TUF. I want to say, if you're going to criticize, you got to point out when something's good. I believe in that. And this season of TUF has been really good. So I guess this is my Dougie's Corner, a MMA fan, a UFC fan that has made rage out videos about TUF in the past, giving a review on season 33 of The Ultimate Fighter. If you're a UFC fan, go watch it. It's pretty good. Just, you know, keep this close by, because about halfway through every episode, someone's going to start crying because they have a kid. I get it. Work's exhausting. I completely get it. But, you know, that's life, mate. We press on, and so do these guys. So go and watch TUF. It's really good, and let me know what you think about it down there in the comments after you watch it. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name's Dougie. I make an MMA video every single day of the week, and I try and go live at least 3 times a week, but I've been going live pretty much every day, and they've been really good. So if you want to know when I go live, when a new video drops, you hit that subscription button down there, you hit the notification bell down there, Let me know down there in the comments. Are you watching TUF? Are you back on board? Let me know about it down there in the comments. If you can't be bothered commenting anything, just leave a like. That helps grow the channel, and you know I would really appreciate that. And if this is your first time here, I thank you so much. Your names will be up on the... What? If you're a paying member of the channel, I thank you so much. Your names are up on the next slide. And until then, I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Goodbye.